Hey guys, I'm Hunter with Nelson Insurance. I'm going to go over just what it's like owning an insurance agency. I am 21. I own Nelson Insurance Agency in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Opened the thing when I was 18 years old when I graduated high school. So my experience might be a little bit different than what other people's has been, but I'll kind of get through what it's like opening up an insurance agency, the day to day, the challenges, everything you kind of go through there. So, I mean, the day to day in insurance, it really is just a number of different things. I mean, with us being open for 3.5 years, um, a lot of my day is still heavily involved in the daily operations. You are not going to be not involved in the operations for probably 5 years once you start up your insurance agency, and you could be involved in the daily operations every single day. It totally just depends on how you go throughout the deal. Obviously, you want to be a business owner versus a business operator. So it really just kind of depends on how you guys run things and what things look like there. We, or I mean, I would like to not be a business operator, like be a business owner here in about a year and a half or so. And we are starting to take steps towards that right now. But, when you starting up, if you don't have $1 million laying around, you are going to be a business operator until everything is kind of laid in place and you got some profit to go ahead and hire somebody to really be the day-to-day operation manager, the director of operations. So we have 7 people here. One is a virtual assistant, one is an agent, 3 are CSRs, so customer service representatives, me, and then a director of operations. We used to have 2 CSRs and 2 agents. Actually, at one point, 3 agents. But we just purchased another agency, and so we had to move one of our agents to a CSR, and the other agent was not a good fit. So, for me, it's really been helping out this book purchase as of right now. So I'm handling a lot of renewals. I am helping answer phones a little bit. I'm answering a lot of questions and solving a lot of problems. So that is definitely one thing going on right now. Because as you're trying to figure things out, uh, as you're kind of moving with what's going on right now, you gotta problem solve. There's a lot of problem solving in insurance. How do you win the big deal? How do you put together this thing? Because one line of coverage might be too expensive, or maybe it doesn't work with this insurance carrier. So where do you find the other one at? You know, what if the financing's really expensive? How do you get the numbers to all work? I mean, I just closed a $170,000 account, and shoot, I I had like 5 different options ready to present, and then somebody come a little cheaper, and I just go, gosh, how do I make this thing a little cheaper? And then I figure out a way, and then oh shoot, this doesn't work out. These 2 coverages have to be packaged, and so now I got to start back, figure something else out. So a lot of problem solving, a lot of long hours. I mean, I've not worked. Um, I've not worked 80. I've worked 80 hours a week for the last 3.5 years, pretty much. When I was building their website, I was working 100 hours a week. Don't recommend doing that. I would just hire it out, go get Gravity certs, one of the best out there. But when you're first starting up, you're the janitor, you're the everything. I'm doing my own marketing, all that stuff. I'm sitting here 5:30 on a Saturday recording a YouTube video, um, because that's when I got time to do it. So I've been working all morning and all day, I suppose. It's 5:30, all day doing that, and now kind of getting after it. So lot of day to day problem solving, a lot of day to day questions. There are gonna be a ton of questions. Insurance is very good industry. There, oh gosh, I can't quite remember the statistic, but I think insurance and real estate has made more millionaires than any other industry out there. But again, as a insurance agent, the average salary is about $40,000 $45,000 probably. So there's a lot of people in it. Doesn't mean you're gonna hop into it and it's automatically gonna be lucrative and you're automatically be a millionaire by the time you are. I don't know how old you are, but when you're watching 5 years later, it's not the case by any means. There are agents out there who've been doing this thing for 5 times longer than I am, and I've got a 10 times bigger book than they have. So it is not a guarantee, but there's a lot of opportunity in this industry. A lot of people think maybe you're hopping in insurance, you're going to go golfing every day, you're selling deals on the golf course, and life's great. There are some people doing that. You can't have 7 people, you can't have 70 people, you can't have 40 people at the agency. You might have 1 to 2, maybe 3. Keep your expenses and overhead extremely low, maybe a little more manual on the processes and everything. But after a couple of years, you're gonna be profiting a decent amount and you're gonna be growing incredibly slow or maybe not at all. So, if you do want to go hit the golf course every day, great. Expect to be making an average salary for the first 4 or 5 years and then maybe doing fairly well if you keep working hard and doing that stuff. But keep your book around and then you can go to the golf course. So there are plenty of people who have been doing this thing for 15 years and do have a big agency and do have the right people in place and right talent and got the capital and everything like that. Where yeah, I mean they're having more time than they know what to do with, but if you are spending a lot of time outside of the business, you are not going to be really growing that business a whole lot unless you have got an extremely established base um, laid down. So it's very tough at first. The saying is the insurance agent is going to make more money than the agency owner for the first 7 years. The agency owner is not going to make any money for the first 3 years. Obviously, that is not completely true. There are a lot of people who do make money the first 3 years. Just depends on how you do things. Because you're not really gonna hardly lose anybody in the first couple years. You're gonna have to figure out how to write some business, and you might have some money set aside where you can go market, and you got nothing to do. You can sell insurance all day, every day. Run the thing out of your home until you got some money. Go buy go buy an office, or go rent an office, buy an office, whatever. So, those are some of the sayings on it. Getting insurance carriers, is very, very tough. I've done a very good job of doing that. Don't mean to pat myself on the back, but I don't know what it is. I've had some good luck getting insurance carriers. Um, you know, you got to figure out what they want to hear. Um, when you're gonna bring on an insurance carrier, I'm not bringing on anybody. I want to bring on a carrier that's gonna put me in the direction of the agency, put me in the direction that the agency wants to grow, and then I'm going to grow in the direction that the carrier wants and the agency and that aligns with the agency values. So there are insurance companies out there like Travelers, EMC, um, CWG, a million other ones who would not be a good fit for our insurance company or for our agency. CWG likes a lot of agribusiness, very manual process, likes big contractors, stuff like that. Just not what we want to do. We want to do trucking. We want to grow on certain lines of trucking. We want to offer an all-in-one package. So we want some home and auto options. We want some BOP options. We need some life and health options, and so we want to get into that stuff. And so we got to make sure, like a carrier, like a insurance carrier, like auto owners, will do literally all those things. So if I want to go get an auto owners, I'm gonna build my agency dang near around where they want to be, and then I'm gonna go present them a 5 year plan, and then hopefully go work with them because they're gonna be a credible resource to my agency. So you got the insurance carriers, you got the training. There's a ton of training. There's a ton of knowledge. Insurance is extremely unscalable. Like it is very slow on scaling. Like if you got an e-commerce business, you could watch a TikTok and go buy that product in 3 minutes and boom, that thing's done. The sales cycle in insurance could be months. If you're working on a $500,000 account, a $50,000 account, whatever the case is, it could take months to close that thing. Now, granted, you got home and auto. Yeah, sometimes you could do it over a 30-minute phone call. Sometimes you could do it over the 30 days. Some days you could do it over 3 days. But it is not as scalable. Now you got to go hire somebody. They got to get their insurance license. You got to make sure they're licensed in that state. You got to make sure they're appointed with all those insurance carriers. You got to make sure the right carriers in place. You got to make sure they're fully trained up. They understand what they're doing. Um, and then it could take a year to really get somebody very fluent in that insurance space. Now they could totally figure the thing out in a couple weeks, get the basics of things. Maybe if it's one carrier, like you're working for a State Farm, then that's a lot more scalable than it is an independent insurance agency, because training everything on those lines 10 times easier. You get your Arizona mission. Can you sell this type of product? Will it be covered under your Arizona mission policy? Everything on those lines. Then you got to go with the insured. You got to go with the underwriting aspect. You got to ask all the underwriting questions. Get the payment information that works with that insurance company. Sell that product. print out ID cards, mail them to them, go in there and document in your CRM, your customer relations management system. I don't know what the heck it actually stands for. I know it's customer relations something. And then you go document it in your AMS, your agency management system, so that way you're protected if you get sued for something. And so that way you can see what you're going to pay for commission. You can manage your books, see what the agency revenue and premium size is. That's I know now that's exaggerated, right? That's exaggerated. I did work out the whole process there to sell one policy, and I listed everything. Now, granted, you don't have to do training and licensing on every single new policy, but there's a lot that goes into it. It's very scalable. That's why I say insurance is not as scalable, right? Versus like an e-commerce deal, sell something in a couple minutes. So there is that aspect. But why is insurance so good, and why do I like being an insurance agency owner? Because insurance is like real estate too. No matter what, people need insurance. Everybody has insurance, and if you don't have insurance because you are a $100 million revenue business, you are self-insured and you have funds and all. You have either a captive set up, which we can sell, and insurance agencies can sell, or they have a trust account set up and they're self-insured. But that's 0.00001% of the population is self-insured. Everybody needs insurance. If it's a tough market, insurance is very tough to sell. The underwriting is very strict. Insurance companies are losing money. Now, this ain't good for the consumer, but it's good for the insurance agent. Premiums go up, which means commissions go up. And yes, there is more work involved, but you're getting a pay raise on every single account that you have. If the insurance market's easy, then insurance carriers are paying bonus commission. It is half the time, if not less, to quote bind and issue an insurance policy. You're bringing in new leads like crazy because everybody's taking rate decreases, and you got all these new leads coming in, and then boom, you're still making more money. So whether the market's hard or soft, you are making money in insurance. It is not like trucking, for example, where you can go from making $120,000 profit a truck to not making any money because the market's garbage. You're not getting paid anything. It's not like anything else where if it's a down market, you literally are not making any money. You're trying to survive. With real estate insurance, it don't matter. If housing prices go up, great. All the real estate you own, you just got a huge net worth bump. And rents are going to be going up and everything else along those lines, all those tenants you got, boom, you just got basically a pay raise and a net worth bump. If real estate pricing is going down, you buy up everything you can. Maybe the banks are soft too, and they're giving out cheap interest rates, and you're buying up everything, and then it goes back up again because the market's hard. So no matter what, it's really good. Just kind of a safe option there, So there's that. I know this video is kind of all over the place, but I just want to just kind of speak from exactly what I got. This is unscripted. I'm just saying exactly what goes through my head with why I got into insurance in the day to day. It's residual too. That's the other thing about insurance. It's not like life insurance. Life insurance, every day you come in that you walk the door, you have no guaranteed money coming in. It is brand new, but you're getting a ton of commission up front. You're getting 100% commission typically on a new life insurance policy, or at least most of our carriers do. Pay 100% commission. I think captives like State Farm, Farm Bureau, all that stuff may pay more like 40. But our independent side's paying about 100% new business for the first year with no renewals. And then you go to PNC or property and casualty, you might be 15%. And it's like, ooh, man, that's a big dip. You could sell $1,000 policy, make $150. It's going to the agency, it ain't going all the insurance agent. So that's not a lot of money. But you start building up a couple $1 million book now, and you got a couple mil in the books, you're getting a good percentage of that. Now, the residuals really where the money's made. You doing it for a good couple of years. If you're 70 years old and you got a couple $10 million book, you can just hire somebody to manage it. You could sell it if you want. They're fairly valuable. Otherwise, you literally just have somebody manage it for you. And that book might bleed out over the next 20 years or so, but you still got you still got all that you still got all that money coming in, So yeah, it really is just a good industry. It's extremely stressful. It's a lot of education, like crazy. Sales big factor. Just tons and tons of education. I can't even just hit that hard enough. There's a lot of education involved in insurance. So yeah, I mean, there's kind of the, like whatever, right? That's kind of the insurance industry. Um, yeah, I'll end it there since that way we're not getting past too far past 15 minutes here. But appreciate you guys watching. I'm Hunter with Nelson Insurance. I get a lot of agents that reach out to me, so feel free to reach out. I'm happy to answer any questions, anything on those lines. So happy to talk. Appreciate you guys watching. Thanks again.